Hello, I'm going to take you through a tour of SpringBoard Online, which is our language arts curriculum. If you have not yet established your student's SpringBoard account, then please refer to the video in which we describe setting up the student account. If you have that information, then we're going to go ahead and get started here. So you want to log in the username and password that you set up during the account activation process. You'll use the same school code that we did during the setup process, and that is 200881, and you will click Student Login. Here you will see your student's information. Should have your student's name, the school year, and also information about the class that you enrolled in. It should have periods that correctly match the period that your student is in my class. Tommy Test, our sample student, I enrolled in periods 1 and 2. So just ensure that you have this information correct. So once you're here, the way to find the material that we work on in class is to select Find Materials. You will see here that it gives you all the instruction from level 1 through senior English. College Board's material for SpringBoard starts at 6th grade. That's where the pre-AP program begins, and it goes all the way through senior English. So you, at this login, have access to the whole English curriculum all the way through the time they are seniors in high school. But we are going to start at level 1. So click level 1, that is 6th grade language arts, and you will see here our whole curriculum for the year, broken up by unit. Before we get into the specifics of those, though, I want to show you some great resources that are also available online at SpringBoard. We have a really great grammar handbook. There's a lot of great information in there as far as parts of speech, sentence structure, literary elements and things like that that they learn not only throughout our school year, but they've learned in previous school years. So this is a great place to come to refresh memories about things, or to maybe get more specific information if we're kind of hung up on an assignment that we're working on in class this year. There are also different strategies that we use in SpringBoard, as well as graphic organizers that we use. We have an English-Spanish glossary, an index of skills, so you can see if your child wants to brush up on a particular skill, you can check that and see which lessons in SpringBoard incorporate those skills. We also have an index of authors and titles, which we have a lot of abridged versions of stories in the books, in our SpringBoard book, and if the student wants to perhaps read the full novel or things like that, you can get that information here. So this is a really great place to come for resources. So back to our units, we will start with Unit 1, and this is basically the whole Unit 1 right here broken up by activity. Now when you look at our daily activity online and you see that we worked on SpringBoard 1.3, you will know that we were in Unit 1, Activity 3. So the 1 before the number indicates the unit we're on. The dot number indicates what activity we're on. So if we want to go look at Activity 1.4, we go and we select the graduation cap here on the right-hand side, and it will open a PDF for you of that document. Get it to fit the screen here. Okay, and what you see once you do that, this is exactly what the kids see in class in their SpringBoard books. So it is exactly the same. Students in my classroom, because we're a digital classroom, we will be working on these PDFs digitally. So students will open each of these files as we work on them in class through SpringBoard, and they will save the PDFs either to a Dropbox or to Edmodo or some other cloud storage device. So you can have access to the actual work the students do on these in class, as opposed to students who are not in digital classrooms where they work through the books with pen and pencil. So that's kind of a neat way that we're doing it in the digital classroom. Anyway, what you see here is exactly what the kids see in class. It has the whole assignment here that we work on, and students can revisit this information at home if they forget what we worked on, or can also revisit it at times when they're studying for particular exams and things like that. Okay, so let's get out of that. Another really great thing about the way SpringBoard is set up is that you can see what assessments we do in class. What we do in class is before we even begin the unit, we talk about the assessment that's in the unit. This helps focus the kids on what they need to learn, what skills are important, and they also kind of know where we're going. So this information is here for you as well. If you want to see what skills or what we're teaching for each unit, this is a great way to look and see exactly what we're working toward. In Unit 1, our first assessment is a narrative writing, and our second assessment is an expository writing. So we will be working on those two types of writing, as well as understanding the difference between the two in our first unit. So you have access to that information online here as well, which is really great. One other resource that I want to show you that is with online SpringBoard is our writing workshops and prompts. We will, throughout the school year, work on some of these writing workshops and prompts. One thing that you will see if you were to go and say open junior level English, you will see that they also have writing workshops, and you will see that they have the same writing workshops. However, the content is a little bit different. So don't be thrown off by the same titles because the content is a little bit different. But this is a great place to come if your child you feel is struggling a little bit with either the writing process or exactly how to write a personal narrative or expository writings. Any of these writings here give a really great broken down step-by-step instruction on how to do those writings. We will incorporate these in the classroom, so we'll be referring to these. If you see in daily activity that we worked on an expository writing workshop, this is where the information is coming from. If you have any questions about that, feel free to get in touch with me, but this is where the information comes from for those assignments. All right, so if we go back to my classes, this shows the classes that your student is enrolled in. SpringBoard also offers curriculum in other content areas, which is why it's possible to be enrolled in multiple classes. Our school right now at this time only is using SpringBoard in our English content area. So you will typically only have this one class show up. When I do assign work through SpringBoard, that does show up here. Also, when there are assessments given in class and we do testing through SpringBoard, your student will access that information here as well. Those grades and things like that are kept here. I don't have one set up for you to look at as kind of a mock, but this is where that information is kept. That is going to conclude our SpringBoard tutorial. If you have any questions about something that maybe I didn't cover or that I didn't cover in enough depth, please feel free to email me, give me a call, or stop by and see me. Thank you.